they have the product in the market, and they're looking at effectively dropping the module in and creating a Wi-Fi variant of that product.
Right.
So it's a sort of quite an easy path to get from Bluetooth to Wi-Fi.
Okay.
So that's sort of how we're positioning Audio.
Hey everybody, Dave Lindbergh in Hong Kong with a new episode of THD Podcast. Thanks for checking us out. Today we have Frontier Smart Technologies, and the backdrop's a little different. We're actually at the Hong Kong Electronics Fair this week, and we're in their suite, their demo suite. So we're checking out all their tricks. But today we're going to talk to James Taylor, the Director of Product. But without delay, let's give a thanks to our sponsor, the Alti Association. We encourage everybody to go see them in Munich at the high-end show. They're going to be having a suite with a bunch of their partner companies, so please check out Alti. And also Audio Express magazine. We encourage people to subscribe to that, and you can also find out more information about the technology we're talking about today on audioexpress.com. So without delay, let's meet James. All right.
Okay.
James Taylor, Director of Product from Frontier Smart Audio. Thanks for joining us today.
Nice to meet you,
Thanks
Dave.
for hosting us at your suite.
Yeah.
This is a first time or maybe the second time we've done a roadshow interview. So
Right.
It's kind of a technical challenge for us. But thanks. We're keen to find out a bit about the history of Frontier.
Yes.
And then
Okay.
maybe step forward into these new streaming modules you guys are offering.
Okay, great. Yeah, well, thanks very much, Dave. Happy to be here. So I just wanted to quickly start with the introduction of Frontier and tell you a bit about the company. So we've been doing audio for over 20 years now. So for 22 years, we've been basically making solutions to enable brands to create products in
And
audio.
you're based in London, right?
We're based in Cambridge.
Cambridge, okay.
Yeah, so we're a Cambridge company, but we actually have two offices. So we have the core engineering team in Cambridge, and we have the sort of field support and customer support in Shenzhen.
Okay.
So we have sort of equal size offices in both countries.
Okay.
So that enables us to sort of have the kind of Cambridge tech engineering kind of skill set to do the core technology.
The deep thinking.
The deep thinking.
And then the applications.
Yeah, so I'm based in Cambridge with the product team.
Okay.
And then the engineering team. And then, so I sort of come to China for these kind of events.
Okay.
And meet customers and factories.
All right.
So yes, we've had a lot of success in DAB. We've shipped over 80 million modules and chips in the last 23 years. We've worked with over 500 brands and factories. And we calculated recently that we believe we've got over 5,000 individual products.
Right.
That have our technology
Different
inside.
SKUs that incorporated over the years.
Exactly.
Okay.
Yeah.
Wow. And DAB, like some people, it is very a Eurocentric broadcast standard.
Yes.
Is that correct?
Yes. So yeah, it's digital radio. It's popular pretty much all over Europe. It is expanding. So
Okay.
looking at sort of countries in the Far East, the Middle East. At the moment, core market is Europe.
Okay.
So it started off in the UK, which sort of points to our heritage from being a British company. And now sort of countries like Germany, France, Italy, Poland
Okay.
have DAB services.
Okay.
So
and that business will continue forward.
Yes.
Is there anything? Are there competitors in that space? Are there other module suppliers, or are people building it up from the ground up on their own, or is this typically something people look for a supplier turnkey?
No. So I would say all the market's looking for turnkey solutions. Yes, we do have competitors, but we probably are the major supplier at the moment.
Okay.
But yeah, as the technology develops, we do see sort of competitors come into the market, but we still like to think ourselves as sort of number one supplier.
Okay.
And I would say that because we were the sort of first, we did a chip as well, so we don't just do the module, we actually have our own silicon.
Right.
And because we were the first with the solution to market, we are still like ahead in terms of quality and some features. So we sort of just launched a new feature called ASA, which is it's a automatic safety alert.
Oh, okay.
Over DAB. So what happens is if there's an event like a flood or a fire, the broadcaster can send an alert to your radio. Your radio will wake up from standby. It will play the audio message. It will show the text. And basically it's a very reliable way to get an emergency warning across.
Right. And that dates back to traditional FM and AM broadcast.
Yeah.
They used to have those, I remember.
Yeah.
Like warning, like earthquake or something if you're in Taipei.
Exactly. So it's sort of, I think it's one of the sort of advantages of broadcast.
Right.
Is that you can put out a warning message quite quickly and reliably.
Okay.
So it is still a part of our business.
Okay.
It is still something that we supply to the European market. But what we're sort of looking at now is connected audio.
Okay.
So we see the sort of market changing, and we see connectivity becoming more and more important. And that's sort of where we're focusing our sort of today and the future on.
Okay.
So I just wanted to talk about what exactly we do, and why we do it. So I think our sort of why is really we want to enable products to be created, but we create these solutions which are simple. They're turnkey solutions. So we take out as many complexities as we can, so that the factories and brands can build products. We also spend a lot of engineering time to make them really reliable. And also because we put everything into a module, into a chip, we try and make it a turnkey solution so that products can get to market as quickly as possible. So if you look at our sort of diagram in terms of what we offer, as I said before, we do have our own silicon. We offer the hardware module. So we have a module which means that the factories can put it into their products quickly.
Okay, so I know in the US they offer pre-certification for RF modules.
Exactly.
So that will stem forward. Is that a European thing as well with ETSI?
So you've got the EU.
Yeah.
So we have done FCC certification. So yes, the module is certified.
Okay.
With Red, it's slightly different. You do have certification, but you still have to get the final product certified.
Okay.
With FCC, you can kind of carry that through to the end product.
Okay.
So the module allows certification and testing, and that kind of feeds back into the reliability, because making wireless products is difficult. Right? You've got lots of things to think about, especially when you've got multiple radios in the product.
Yeah, some people call it a little bit of black magic going on.
Yes.
Like, how is this stuff connecting?
Exactly. Yeah. So having the module helps us for reliability and speed to market. We also have the software that sits on top of the module. So that's the software element to it. So we have this SDKs that we create. The SDKs are released, and they allow products to take that software, go to market with some customization.
Okay.
So we offer a level of customization. So you could do some basic customizations, or you could do advanced customizations. It's kind of up to the brand what they want. So we also create reference platforms.
Okay.
So this is an example this is the Oreo reference platform. So actually we build the complete working product.
Okay.
So this has, you can see our module just at the top there.
Okay, that's right here.
Yes, exactly.
Okay.
So that's the Oreo module. But in addition to that, we've also got the main board, display, the UI, the speaker, the driver. We've even got batteries inside as well, and the charger.
Customers can, as much as they want, like use this as a concept, and then maybe use all of it or some of it.
Yeah. So the reason we do this is, first of all, when we develop the product, we have to have something to test it on. So we use this as our test bed. So these become completely certified. All of our testing's on this, and it also enables us to recommend to a factory how to build the product.
Right.
So we can release all those schematics to the factory.
Okay, cool.
Okay, and basically it's all about reliability. It ties into that. So these are the reference platforms that we create. In addition to that, we also have an internet service for updating the software.
Okay.
So we manage the software process. So obviously these products are quite complex. The software will need updates from time to time.
Is that to do with things like, I've heard this before, like new phones, and making sure the new phone OS is compatible with the over-the-air transmissions?
That's an example where something might happen, but also things like, we've got applications inside, like AirPlay, Spotify. So from time to time, those may need to be updated.
Right.
So that's an over-the-air software update. So we manage that service on behalf of the brand as well.
Yeah, that's huge with hundreds of devices. And even within Apple, there's at least perhaps 8 to 10 different phones that are still in circulation.
Yes. Yeah. So exactly. So it allows the products to have the ability to be updated, and it's all automated. So if anything's found in the field and the brand tells us there's an issue, we have the ability to say, okay, fine, we fixed it, we're going to roll it out now, and it gets pushed to the devices.
Okay.
And the final piece of the puzzle is the app.
Okay.
So most of these products, when we speak to brands, one of the kind of concerns is how do we set up products and how do we use products? So having an app is actually one of the key requirements. So we've got this app called Octave.
Okay.
So you can download that now from the App Store. So the options for a brand would be you can use Octave, and many brands will use it because it's a pretty, it's a reliable app and it's been used in the field. Alternatively, they can have their own app. So we have all the APIs to allow them to control the device from their app. Or the third option is they can actually take Octave and reskin it.
Okay, yeah.
So really what we're trying to do is provide the complete turnkey solution and almost give a factory and a brand everything they need to launch a product.
Okay.
So I think, so simplicity, reliability, time to market, and also, we're also aiming at a price point in the market which, we're aiming to get this Wi-Fi connectivity to the mass market. So our modules are kind of priced accordingly. So we are kind of going for, we see the market as, so we see Wi-Fi as being a kind of must-have for the majority of audio products in the future. That's our sort of vision. So, there are sort of Bluetooth speakers, and I think there will continue to be Bluetooth-only speakers. But I think above a certain price point, our belief is that they will all have Wi-Fi and Bluetooth. In the same way now that if you buy a TV, it's going to have Wi-Fi in.
Yeah. And Bluetooth,
it's almost, I don't know if you could even buy a TV that doesn't have that.
True.
So that's kind of our vision with sort of audio products. And that's sort of why we've kind of looked at the market and why we've created Aurea.
Okay.
So I wanted to talk about our Aurea module. So we recently launched this module. So this is aimed at the connected audio market. So this is a turnkey solution which allows products to add connectivity features. So these features are, so we've got Bluetooth, and we've got Bluetooth Classic.
Yep.
We've also got the latest Bluetooth low energy audio.
LE audio, yeah.
LE audio.
Yeah.
So that also allows Auracast. So Aurea will be, or can be a Auracast BMS, which is a broadcaster.
Yeah.
Or it can also be an Auracast BMR. So a receiver.
So the S stands for?
Sender, I think.
Sender, okay, and receiver.
I think it's broadcast media sender.
Okay.
Broadcast media receiver.
Great. Gotta define engineering by acronyms.
So that gives us flexibility, or it gives the brands flexibility. So your product can either send audio to it, or you can kind of flip that around and receive audio via headphones.
Okay.
The other thing that Auracast enables is the point to multi-point. So because it's broadcasting, it allows unlimited numbers of other receivers to receive that broadcast.
Right. Yeah.
So like I think what you used to call party mode,
Bluetooth
party mode, this kind of replaces it with a standard.
Yeah.
So I think party mode was a bit proprietary towards different brands. So in theory, with Auracast, we'd be able to connect lots of different types of products together. You won't. It won't all have to be from the same brand, or it won't even have to be Aurea. So it should work, and it will work across different products.
Right.
And then also you've got headphones as well.
Right.
So it's a really interesting piece of technology, and I think the use cases are still being defined.
And being that it's Wi-Fi 6, I know that the goal, I mean, beyond transmission nodes and such, power consumption, Wi-Fi 6 has made a statement about power consumption. Are we getting to the point where Audio might be considered for headphones, or is that still a little bit further out? Is it?
Yeah.
How's the power consumption?
It's a good question. I think at the moment the power consumption, I think it could be.
Could be.
It could be. So we've have talked to some brands that do very high-end products. They're quite big, so they can put bigger batteries in.
Right.
I do think longer term we will have to look at a solution that's slightly lower power consumption.
Right. Okay.
You know, we support the dual band, so it's 5 gigahertz and 2.4 gigahertz.
Right.
So I think predominantly Audio V1 is aimed at these kind of
mains powered
or devices or larger batteries.
Yeah.
I think Audio V2, and we have had discussions about this, what can we do to sort of have something that's, I think, power consumption and also the footprint.
Right.
So the footprint is sort of fairly large.
Right. So like
it's like sort of that
2 by 3 centimeters.
Yeah.
Something like this. Okay.
So we look at doing a sort of slightly smaller module.
Okay.
So we also have other connected features. So we have Spotify Connect, AirPlay 2, Tidal Connect.
Right.
So
and you manage so part of it is like, and this is an attractive feature I think for any of the module suppliers, is they're doing the negotiations with Spotify to have that license, and is that handled by Frontier? Like, so the brand X doesn't need to go talk to Spotify, they just buy the module from you and everything's sorted on the business and like technical side?
Yes. So we do the certifications. So we handle all that process. The brand will still need to do a certain amount of paperwork to register with Apple or Spotify.
Sure. Okay.
So there is a kind of process where they have to register so that Apple knows that they have they can put the logo on the product.
Right. Right.
So they have to do the kind of business side, but we will take away that kind of certification side for them. So high-res audio.
Right.
So Audio it's quite a powerful platform. So it's a dual-core ARM processor. So it can handle sort of higher quality audio. So we can do 24-bit audio.
Okay.
So that enables a sort of higher class of products.
Right.
So one of the questions is sort of what's driving Wi-Fi? You know, why do all these audio products need to be Wi-Fi connected?
Right.
So these sort of services like Spotify Connect and AirPlay, they are much more easier for the user to use.
Right.
So you know, Bluetooth is great. The disadvantage is you're kind of driving it from your phone the whole time.
Right.
So if your battery dies or you take a call, the
phone call interrupting the party is a classic.
Exactly. So these services like AirPlay and Spotify Connect mean that once you've connected to your product over Wi-Fi, your phone doesn't have to be constantly attached.
Right.
And also things that we offer with Spotify is they offer a preset playlist. So once you've connected, you can actually have a preset button, which is that button.
Okay.
So then if you've got your
it doesn't mean much in this prototype.
Exactly.
In a product, it'd have a nice label and a feature button.
So that means that once you've set up your Spotify, you don't even need a phone. So you can just walk up to your product, press your preset button, and you've got audio.
Okay.
So that's sort of one of the many advantages of having Wi-Fi onto your product.
Okay.
Other things that we support, DAB is still a key thing for some of our customers. So we've had discussions at the show, and we decided to put DAB in this product, and it's a good thing we did, because quite a lot of our customers have said, no, we do want DAB on our products.
Right.
So DAB will be on there, so you can see the image here. Sort of give the sort of image in the center as the main CPU.
Right.
But to the left is our DAB module.
Okay.
That's an optional fit. So some brands want to create all-in-one systems, and DAB will be an option.
Right. Okay.
Internet radio, podcasts, and the clock on the right is we have alarm clock functionality, sleep timer.
Okay.
So that's what the product looks like today.
Okay.
And what we see is we see this as going into a whole range of different products.
Right.
And really products that today may not necessarily have connectivity, they may be Bluetooth only. We've had a lot of interest to add Aurea to enable Wi-Fi and these additional features. So for example, things like bookshelf speakers. This is quite an interesting product to add Wi-Fi to.
Right.
They could also be TV speakers, so we could add HDMI to the product. Soundbars, all-in-one systems. These wireless streamers.
Yeah.
These are quite popular. So there's obviously a lot of products in the market don't have connectivity. So having a wireless box that you can plug in is quite an attractive proposition.
And does that like step off of legacy devices, and you could run RCAs into that, and then take your old gear and keep it alive a little longer?
Exactly.
Okay.
And I think this is quite an interesting proposition, because a lot of hi-fi equipment it lasts a long time, and it was a big investment initially.
Yeah.
So if you've got an analog system that you just want to have the ability to have digital music, then these kind of products can solve that for you.
Okay.
And then streaming AV receivers.
Yeah. Okay.
So yes, I mean, really, as I was sort of saying before, this is our sort of proposition today. Is we take Bluetooth products,
right,
and a lot of people that we've been talking to have a product already. They have the product in the market, and they're looking at effectively dropping the module in and creating a Wi-Fi variant of that product.
Right.
So it's a sort of quite an easy path to get from Bluetooth to Wi-Fi.
Okay.
So that's sort of how we're positioning Aurea.
Well, that's great. I can see especially the combination of you're not letting go of the Bluetooth, because often it was a decision.
Yes.
Are we going to be a Wi-Fi speaker or a Bluetooth speaker?
Yes.
And if you have both of those, and then also the Spotify and whatnot is also using the Wi-Fi anyways, right?
Yes.
Okay. Or I suppose it could be Bluetooth or both.
Yeah, it could be.
Okay.
So, but if you're using Bluetooth, you're driving everything from your phone.
Right.
But when you have Spotify Connect, you're sort of offloading it.
You take a MAC address and it starts pulling from the cloud. Okay.
Yeah. So I mean, Spotify Connect is very clever, because it kind of, if you sort of wander off your phone, it will kind of keep on playing, and it's usually quite clever that it will sort of play your recommendations, so it sort of works out what you want to listen to. So it's a really cool.
And I've heard there's some creep factor to it, where it kind of predicts what you're going to like.
Yes, probably.
Sure.
Yeah. So I mean, from our side, our sort of vision is, Wi-Fi on all these types of products above a certain price point. We sort of think it's about above sort of $99. We think that in the future, any audio product above $99 will have Wi-Fi in.
Right.
So that's our sort of vision. That's really why we sort of got Aurea. That's why we've kind of invested in the product. And it's been great to show. We've been really busy. We've had sort of back-to-back meetings in the last 3 days, and it's really great that everyone sort of shares that as well now. So we do feel that this is going to happen.
Yeah, and I just to echo for the people, if they're wondering about the Hong Kong show, I'd have to say, just a sidebar, is that this show has been the best since pre-COVID. Okay. I don't know about for you guys, but for us, it's been really busy.
Yes, so I agree with that sentiment, and then we've seen it. This it's early morning at the moment, but from 9 o'clock, it will just be people coming in, having discussions, showing them demos. So it's been really great. I haven't even had a chance to look at the show floor yet. Okay. I've literally been in this hotel room for the last few days.
Okay. Is there anything else you want to tell us?
I think that's it.
About some contact info so people know where to get to you?
Yes. Okay. So it's frontiersmart.com. Okay. That's our website. You can go on. You can look at all of our products. Okay. And if you want to contact us, it's sales@frontiersmart.com. Okay. So we can answer anyone's questions and send more information to them.
Okay. All right, James. Thank you. And thanks everybody for watching. Like, subscribe, share. Put your questions, put your negativity, your positivity down below. We encourage it. We'll share everything to James if you want. So again, thanks, and we'll see you on the next episode. Okay. Bye-bye.